It's welcome. It's my pleasure to be able to welcome you all to this auspicious meeting. I wish I was there. I got to explain a little bit. I'm at my own production studio, except for my wife turned on the camera and helped me with clean up my face and making it look good. I had a good prop here that I was going to wear, which is the HL7. My HL7 red shirt. But she said, I'm not showing it very well, she said it didn't look good on me, so I'm not wearing it. But in any case, so I want to bring a couple of subjects up. As one of them, of course, is the importance of having standard identifiers in Brazil. This is the same as for any other countries, because it's essential to the goals clinicians, researchers, and policymakers have for the use of electronic medical records. And without the adoption of a universal code to identify each distinct test and measurement and report, clinicians will not be able to easily combine data from many sources. In fact, they won't easily be able to find data for a particular test or particular measure. And they won't be able to combine them into a single flow sheet or line, and they won't be able to do decision support very well because the computer won't know which measurements, tests represent the ones that its rules are looking at. The researchers won't be able to use data from many institutions and national databases to pool data about individual patients or cross patients for analysis purposes. And almost all of the existing inadequacies of electronic medical records can be traced back to the lack of universal codes. We keep scraping and solving other problems, thinking that'll finally solve the problem, but until we nail this little bitty thing, which has got to be on every test and every measurement, we just won't get there. And of course, the names of tests and measurements are not provided. If they're not provided in your native language, they're useless because no one will ever use them or be able to know what they are or be able to map them to their current vocabulary. So that's what makes this activity that we're celebrating today, this mapping of an enormous number of LOINC codes into Portuguese Brazilian, such an important achievement. Now, one other argument, biologists have discovered that these things that they call barcodes on proteins, they are actually labels that are unique to each protein, for many proteins anyway, that the cell can use to route the protein to a particular address in the cell. And they call them barcodes because they serve the same function as barcodes on Federal Express and other shipping packages. Then they get the package, that is in the case of the protein, to the right address. And LOINC codes are in many ways the equivalent to these biologic barcodes. They get the test result package to the right address in the electronic medical record so that the tests of the same kind can be recognized as such and grouped together and organized as we discussed briefly earlier. We are here today getting back to this remarkable achievement, and through purely volunteer work over the last 7 years, Brills has translated more than 55,000 LOINC terms into Portuguese. And these are all available and have been since January in the current released version 6.4 of LOINC. Furthermore, the translation work has gone well past laboratory results. It now includes almost 10,000 clinical variables, including such things as vital signs, history and physical, and EKG measurements, which will be very, very useful to the total electronic medical record and a great additional achievement. There's other activities going on. Lots of people that are involved in this. I looked at the websites that have been created, and they're gorgeous. They're very, very nice websites. I have to confess that I couldn't read them very well, but with Portuguese there's enough cognates that I could make some of it out. And I also have another confession. I tried hard to be sure I could pronounce everyone's names correctly looking at the web, but apparently there are many pronunciations in Brazil of Portuguese, ranging across different parts of the country, and I couldn't find a settled pronunciation, so you'll have to forgive me if I pronounce things incorrectly. Many people have been involved in this, and all of them, at least many of them, I know personally and have had enjoyable experiences with. So let me just name a few. Dr. Gastel Rosenfeld, who owns DSA, who invited me out to see that lab when I was here in October of 2007. It's a glorious lab. It's as big and as well organized as anything I've ever seen anywhere in the world. So Brazil should be very, very proud of that laboratory, and the automation is brilliant. And Dr. Beatrice Leo, and I'm sorry those little accents on the name I may not be doing fair to, but Beatrice has been a longtime friend, and we spent, not only did she help, she invited me and was a major invitee to the meeting in Brazil in 2007, has been a longtime proponent, probably the first of LOINC in Brazil, and we had the pleasure of being with her on other occasions, including in Chile, I think probably a year after that meeting. Mr. Lincoln Mora Assis, who is Beatrice's husband, was also together with her and me on many occasions, and is a great gentleman and a great medical informatician. And not only that, he sent me a beautiful picture of a bird that landed on his window in São Paulo. I wish I could have been there. And now, and he's been leader in EMEA, he's now a leader in EMEA, but he's been a long-time leader in Brazil. And Dr. Jussura Mercado, who was the head of ANS, the National Agency for Supplemental Health, and started this project and has always been a close follower. And I know her, she's been active and enthusiastic forever. And Dr. Maria Emilia Freitas, who's worked in the background and did most of the translation, I think was described by some as the probably most important person because she did such a good job, and she's also from DSA. And Dr. Renato Sabatini, who's the chair of HL7 Brazil Education Working Group, and he's going to help me with this video, I promise, when you get it. And we can't fail to mention Dr. Abraham, who has been a tireless advocate for this process and this project at every HL7, from HL7, and at every HL7 meeting in the U.S. He's got an update and some enthusiastic new milestone has been reached, and now he's reached the pinnacle. So this is sort of the Everest of the LOINC activity in Brazil under his tutelage and leadership. I was asked for a package of pigs, and I think I had actually had surgery last Thursday, but I'm doing fine, and so I couldn't manage this. So my office sent some pigs, but I think not many. I have found some more in my home, which I'll be happy to forward. And just to kind of celebrate LOINC, I want to give a little final. Well, this pig has run out of breath, so you're going to have to listen. You're going to have to, Dr. Abraham will have to give you the pig at the meeting. And I thank you very much for giving us a chance to introduce the meeting, and hope to see you all sometime soon. And cheers and great success to this good work, informatics work in Brazil. It's brilliant. And we will see the fruits of this labor in the coming years richly. Thank you.